in that ODSC talk that you gave, you had a slide that showed about the infrastructure, and it showed how it was different rectangles, and each rectangle was a different size, right? Depending on how much time
Yes.
you put onto the time you put into that to be able to create this model in production. And the actual model building was a very small rectangle when it came to the
Correct.
rest that you needed
Yeah.
to think about. And I'm wondering, can you go into that a little more in depth?
It's become very famous. I think you are referring to this piece, this particular thing. If folks are not familiar, there was a very interesting, somewhat controversial paper that was written by Google team in 2015, where they were downplaying the idea that ML is the only thing, and that they were pointing out to how much other infrastructure around the ML that they had to create. And initially, when we were doing feature engineering, our idea was this: that it's actually a linear process. You just feed the model with your data. We will have DSLs. We'll make it very easy to create newer features and so on. But we went around searching for alternative ideas because our understanding was breaking down in reality. We were finding that we had to do a lot of monitoring data, lots of data quality, lots of resource management, and so on. And we kept wondering, how is it that our understanding is not jiving with that linear model? That is around a couple of years after this was published, in around 2017 or so. We found this picture, and I think this is a much more realistic reflection of the kinds of effort that goes in. And as feature engineering problems, as feature engineering platform, right? Even this feature extraction is one box here. Our experience actually suggests that we pretty much touch most of these boxes, including a little bit of the serving infrastructure itself, because if you want to get end-to-end confidence, you have to make sure that you are verifying the data. You are planning out the resource, because all of these feature computations are very compute intensive. We have checks and balances of various kinds, and we also have efficiency improving mechanisms. And I think my sense is that this picture reflects a somewhat of a realistic distribution of the effort. Now, the particular form that this distribution takes in different companies at different scales is very different. So that's where the mid-scale comes into the picture. The distribution of this effort, the particular tools and the processes that each of these box maps to, will look very different in Google compared to everybody else. And one of the things, when we think about this, we asked ourselves, what are these pieces trying to achieve? And we see that there are basically 4 objectives that this entire system is trying to achieve. The first one is speed. We know that more models will be built, more analysis will be done. The question is, with every, can we add use cases at sufficient enough speed? So standardizing, simplifying, and automating is a big objective of this whole thing. The second one is that when we have these models proliferating, we have to have confidence that they actually work and work every day, and you actually know what is happening. So a bunch of the infrastructure is to give us confidence that this is a reasonable infrastructure. We can stand in front of the CFO or whatever is whoever is the stakeholder, and be able to defend the system. The third one, which came as a little bit of surprise, which I would suggest you folks to take away with, is that we used to think that models are built once and then they go into production. They're like that for a little while, and before we look at it again. Now, what we find is that the speed with which all of these pieces are evolving is actually much faster than we realize. And therefore, if you are not building for continuous evolution of the system and debugging this system as it is evolving, you probably will face growth bottlenecks. The growth bottlenecks will not come because of the scale of the data, but really the scale of because of the growing complexity of the entire system. And the last one is Of course, we want to model ever larger number of customers, products, and so on. That some of this has to do with just planning for scaling out all of these things. But my strong recommendation is that you should definitely read this paper. There is a follow-up paper which talks about tests that a system, end-to-end system, has to pass. That is, I find that also very useful to think about all of these things. And when companies, the companies that we deal with are mid-sized, 20 people, 30 people kind of data teams. They have a mix of folks. We see that it will be a significant challenge going forward to take all of these pieces and stitch them with the limited resources that you have. So,
And
yeah, go ahead.
that's perfect. For anybody that's wondering, we can send them these slides. Is that correct?
Absolutely.